Welcome back to Channel 18, and I'm sure you know our second guest better than our first even. Barbara Ann Foley, Director of the Council on Aging. And Barbara Ann has a program that she wants to go over with you, and it involves the Cape Verdean event that she's planned. So let's listen up and see how you can help her.
Well, thanks, Paul. We have an exciting program, and I'm hoping that everybody is as sick of the snow already as I am and wants to get out of it and maybe into some nice warm weather, both warm inside the building and to warm your heart as well. On Thursday, February 19th from 11 to 2, we are going to have our what we are calling Carnival, which is a very fun, festive event that will be Cape Verdean style. And what we mean by that is everything involved will relate back to Cape Verdean culture. And that will mean everything from the food, which will be homemade, to the music that we will have on CDs from a young lady that many of you may know. Her name is Candida Rose, down in New Bedford. And the few fun giveaways as well, kind of like the Mardi Gras type of beads that we'll be giving to people as they come in. But another piece that we're adding, in addition to the fun and festivities, has a little more seriousness in nature. And that is we're going to do a donation box or boxes, containers, that we will be collecting clothes in, gently used clothes or new clothes if anybody has them. Sometimes at Christmas we get those presents that just don't fit. And that may be a long sleeve t-shirt, or it might be a short sleeve shirt, or pants or jeans or shorts. They're also looking for hair bands and hair clips and new toothbrushes and toothpaste and lots of socks. What we're going to do is put those in containers in the multipurpose room and hope to fill as many of them up as possible. And then we have a donation box for anyone who may not have clothes to bring or may have a few but also want to donate a few dollars. And the money will pay for our container to go over to the Cape Verde Islands to help the people of Fogo and elsewhere over there. They had a volcano, as many of you probably read about in many newspapers and was on the news for a while. And it has decimated 2 big Catholic churches, a number of houses. People, in some cases, literally had the shirt and clothes on their back. So if you can picture what we might experience here with maybe a fire, it's that same kind of horrible, oh my God, I'm thankful to be alive, but everything I had was in that house or in the structure that is no longer there. So we are hoping to do just our little part while we're having fun and eating great food and trying new things and meeting new people and getting out of the snow. We are also going to be collecting whatever money we can and some goods. And hopefully we'll be able to get them. Sadly, the Portuguese government controls what comes into the country. And as I've said on this station before, they charge $120 for the containers to come in. So what that means is that the recipients, the very people we're sending the goods to who have nothing, would have to pay $120 to receive the goods when they have nothing. And as crazy as my face may look right now, that's how crazy that is. So what we're going to do is there is a person who's going to be visiting from Harwich going back to the Cape Verde Islands, and they will be bringing the money so that the people who will be receiving it can actually pay for the container, and they won't have to, you know, try and cobble together money to receive a donation, as crazy as that sounds. So it should be a very fun day. We would like people, if they could, in the next few days, as soon as you see this, to pre-register. We will have, as I said, some Cape Verde food, some soup and some breads and a couple of desserts, just some really fun things. If you've never heard or know anything about the culture, it's a great way to learn about it. Our friend Alranio, who is going to be helping me get this presented with a number of other families in Harwich, had these beautiful little houses that I talked about before. At some point you will see them there that day, but maybe we'll get one more in before the event. They capitalized on this terrible event, and they have made out of the lava rock, these adorable little houses, excuse me, that have little like toothpicks and pieces of twine, etc., that they made little adorable little like huts out of, and they sell them. They have 3 or 4 windows in them and a little door in them, and those are made again with the what look like little toothpicks and pieces of twine, like a thatched roof. So,
and you mentioned that, you know, they wanted T-shirts. Can you tell us anything about the climate? Is this a warm
it
climate?
is warm. Thank you for saying that, Paul. It's what you would picture, maybe not quite as hot as Haiti, but pretty close. They're, you know, the Caribbean type of islands, yep. And even in the coolest weather, I guess you'd say, their winter, if you'd call it that, they're in long sleeve tees. Very seldom are they ever in sweaters, and I've never heard anybody talk about coats. So if you've got anything, as people are packing up, you know, things and moving things from your summertime, especially in this weather, maybe you're moving it to an attic or something. Perhaps if you've noticed something doesn't fit, or you have an abundance of a certain something or a certain color, you wouldn't mind dropping it off to us, and we'll put it in those containers. And the other thing is, sometimes, as terrible as this may sound, every time I go every 6 months to the dentist and I get a checkup, and he always is kind enough and gives me a thing of toothpaste, a thing of dental floss, and a new toothbrush. Well, I just gave away, for some other reason, a donation of a whole bunch of those. And if you have those, because I use an electric toothbrush, so the only time I ever use those is if I travel. And that's not real frequent, so I could be, you know, building up a whole bunch of the toothpastes and toothbrushes. So if you're in that same category, we would love you to be able to clean out a drawer and hand them to us, because if you're not going to be using them, they surely can. So anything like that, the cozy socks, I call them, or even the old tube sock type of socks, anything that will cover a person's foot, because they wear them out, literally. And sometimes the children that are in the poorer regions don't have any shoes. So the only thing covering their feet are the socks, and they literally wear them until there's holes in them, and they try and get another pair. So the more we can collect and get over there, as far as I'm concerned, the better. And that's a big part of the event. But the most important part is to come and have fun, to meet new people, make new friends, learn of our own culture. A lot of people will say to me, so, you know, when we do our state of Massachusetts, you have these tallies, and they'll ask if you have Icelandic people and African American people, and they have a whole list of different nationalities. And we always obviously check off Cape Verdean, because we have a wonderful Cape Verde community. Well, a lot of people don't know what that is, or where it is, or what kind of food they eat, or what kind of dress they have, or holidays they celebrate, or any of that. So you will learn about all of that and then some. And you'll be able to taste some fun food and wear some fun Mardi Gras type of beads, and be doing something really great for other people at the same time. So I'm hoping that you will join us. We are taking reservations right now. We've got a few already on the list. We've had some terrible snow, as you know, so unfortunately it's put a lot of our events kind of in flux. I'm hoping this one will survive and we won't have to cancel because of snow. And if you certainly have any questions, don't hesitate to call me at our 430-7550. The other thing that was decimated, Paul, besides the 2 churches that was really significant, was a winery.
Wow.
Now, as crazy as that may sound, oh, who cares about a winery? Well,
it must be
for
a source
them,
of revenue for the
it
community.
is. It's a source of revenue and jobs. That was the biggest thing. The grapes and all of that to make the wine. When you have to start from scratch, that takes some time to put together. If any of you know anything about wine, it's not something that, you know, you plant a bunch of grapes and they grow and you pluck them the next day or the next week or the next year and they're fine. It's a very long process, and that had just been up and running beautifully, and that also was ruined. So I did have a couple of calls. People have said, well, when can I start donating? Anytime. We will have the containers the day of. But if you're cleaning, Because of the snow, don't hesitate to bring us anything in some bags or boxes or whatever you may have. It does need to be clean and washed, and it does need to be gently used. We don't want to take anything with holes in them or big stains on them or things that have been in a musty basement for a long time or anything like that, because these people are going to be wearing them. So thank you so much for tuning in. I just wanted to give another plug and hope that people will be able to join us.
Well, thank you for bringing this to our attention, and good luck with your fair.
Well, and the last thing I will tell you is you need to come in your brightest colors. That will mean that we don't want to see lots of blacks and navy blues and tans and boring winter colors. We want to see bright reds and hot pinks and royal blues and lime greens. As wild as you can get, the better. So bring out your color and come and stay warm with us, and we'll see you soon.